Hello, everyone, and welcome to A Soulful Revolution, a podcast at the intersection of spiritual transformation and social change. I'm your host, Lauren Grubaugh Thomas, a priest, writer, spouse, and twin mama living on Arapaho and Cheyenne homelands in what's commonly known as Colorado. I am so delighted to welcome my guest today, Erika Saucillo. She is a dance powerhouse, born and raised in Los Angeles, California, with a lifelong passion for dance. And her journey spans over 2 decades, from ballet folklorico to salsa, bachata, and beyond. She's a renowned dancer, instructor, and choreographer, and she has taken the stage by storm, performing globally and winning numerous awards. Erika's dance journey is a testament to the transformative power of movement. And Erika, what an absolute joy to have you on the show today.
It's all a joy is mine. I'm so honored to be here. I love you. I haven't seen you in so long, so it's just so good to see you, just in general here.
Oh, you too. Yeah, we've known each other for about a decade.
Hmm.
And I remember that when you first really burst out onto the scene, when you won the LA's Best Social Salsa Dancer back
Yes.
in 2016. So, and you've come a long way
Thank
since
you.
then.
Thank you. It's
Mm,
been a very, very fun road. Very bumpy, big fun roller coasters, ups and downs. Just like life and everybody goes through it. But I feel like dance has that special way of pushing you to that limit, um,
mm,
which is I think it's beautiful, and I think I use it, and I help that in my students as well. Use that pain, rise from it. Show
mm,
yourself that you could always come back stronger, whether it's from
mm.
a physical injury, from a mental, from a heart injury, whatever it might be in life. Like we could always just keep pushing and building that extra
Mm,
layer that we need here in this world, to become our best self. I feel like everything that we go
yes.
through really helps us lead us to our highest self and show us that we can, you know, live in it, be in
Mm,
it, breathe in it.
mm,
So
mm.
I love dance. I love my journey.
Well, such a perfect segue into the question that I love to pose to all of my guests, to invite you to reflect on what it means to you to live at the intersection of social change and spiritual transformation. What does dance have to do with changing the world and changing ourselves?
You know, I want to say as simple as it shows you self-love. And
Mm,
I think this world, in order for the world in general to heal, I feel like we have to first heal first on our own. And dance has that beautiful way of, again, that whole testing that I'm talking about, tests you to either speak to you in a very disruptive, mean, condescending way, or you could choose the other route where you could choose to speak to yourself like you would a child and encourage yourself
mm,
and give yourself props and see all the accomplishments, even if it's a little bit of accomplishments, even if it's just a little, step, you're like, oh, I finally got it. Took me 3 years, but I got it. Uh, but keeping on that positive side towards yourself because it's so
mm,
easy, especially in dance, to like compare yourself to others, to put yourself
yes.
down because you're not exactly where you want to be, or to speak to yourself in a negative way because you don't look a certain way in the mirror. And I have the blessing to be able to try and change that in the dance world in my classes,
Mm,
is to have my students make sure that they're praising themselves, that they're
mm,
looking at themselves in the mirror with kindness in their eyes, encouraging themselves like they would like a child or their, pet, even though there's
mm.
some people are nicer to their pet than to themselves,
It's true.
and I was for sure the worst, like the worst of the
Mm,
worst, and that's where I feel like dance taught me because I was realizing
mm,
I wasn't really growing until I decided to see what I've accomplished, to see, give myself some props, be proud of myself. Yeah, I wasn't where I
mm.
wanted to be. Yeah, I didn't. I still need to practice into some of the moves that I still to this day I don't think I will ever stop training or trying to be better in
Mm,
dance. I don't think there's a limit to stop. But you also have to accept that in dance, which is like just in life. I don't think you stop growing. You don't stop trying to
Mm,
better yourself. You don't stop trying to be your best self that you could be today. And I
mm.
love that statement. If you're not growing, you're dead. And it's really true. Like, and you hear this from dancers all the time. Like, if they stop dancing, they're like, something's like missing or something's.
Yes.
But I went off on there. But I just feel dance, when you truly use it as a tool to
Mm,
become your best friend, to see your worth, to see your beautifulness, see your handsomeness, to build your confidence. And
mm,
you take that in dance and you put it out to the world and you start changing yourself, and then you start, paying it outward. Then you see somebody else that might be putting themselves down. You're like, hey, you know what? That doesn't really work and that doesn't help. And so then that person tells that person, and then and it just kind of, you know, trickles on. And I feel like that's
yeah.
where it just helps vibrate higher. And we need
Mm,
that. We need that in this world.
yes. Yes, we do.
Mhm.
I love the name of your company, Goddess
Thank
Grooves,
you.
and I'm so curious to hear about the name and what it means to embody that idea of Goddess Grooves for you and for the folks that you dance with.
I want to say that that company came as an accident. Um, I love teaching. I actually started teaching when I was still learning, like I was still a student, but
Mm,
I got the opportunity to just help some classes out, and I was like, okay, because I love dance, and I was like, let's go. And naturally, I guess because I was learning it on my own, how to how to dance first and foremost, but also how to like get to know me. That as I was teaching,
mm,
and I was seeing people, either get frustrated with themselves or frustrated with somebody else, I would like jump in and be
mm,
like, no, like, come on, even though I was going through my own struggles, my own battles, my own demons.
mm.
And it wasn't until I want to say 25, I got one of the worst injuries in my dance career, and it took me out for a year. And
Wow.
but the universe knows, they sat me down. That's the only way for me to just sit and not move, close my eyes, go
Mm,
inward, figure out why I hated myself so much, um,
mm,
and really dive deep into that. And that's when I found spirituality, and that's when I started finding my
mm,
divineness, the goddess inside me, seeing actual beauty when I see myself in the mirror, not just be pissed off about this is not right and that's not right,
mm.
and man, I don't look that way, and it it took that time, but dance helped me, um, even though it helped me because I got injured. But then once I got out of the
Mhm.
injury and I changed my mindset and I was already practicing mirror work, my dance just flipped. Oh my God, it went up so many
Mm.
levels. And then I started seeing everybody else as a goddess, as a divineness, and then it hurt me
Wow.
when they didn't see it. Like
Mm.
like even now I'm
Mm.
like, like my eyes get all watery because I see it all the time. Like I see people walk in
Yeah.
and they don't want to try and be sexy because they don't believe that they're sexy, and they hold back.
Mm.
Um, Even if I just want to have them step in and go just a little taller, just give me a little something, I'll see it in the mirror. And for some, it's really
Mm.
hard. And I get it. And it hurts. It hurts. Because I'm like, no, you don't
Mm.
deserve to feel this. Like you're all so divine and so majestic and powerful. My Lord, you're powerful. Um, and
Mm.
so I started seeing that I could use my transformation, my pain, and hopefully help
Yeah.
anybody that joins my class to see that goddess in them, that divineness, that beauty, just accept, even if it's
Mm.
just for an hour, to just step into, yeah, I feel good today. I look good. I'm proud of you. Just those little first steps
Mm.
before you could be like, I'm the queen, let me put my crown on. And even though I always do this in my class, I'm like, put your crown on, let's go. You're gonna strut out.
Yes.
You're gonna walk in, but you're gonna walk out taller. And so that's
Mm.
where my goddess grooves kind of came into play, so that you know that yes, you're gonna groove, but you're also gonna
Mm.
step into your divinity and really see
Wow.
yourself. in that light, and and it really
Mm,
does make your dance change. There's moves and there's
mm,
techniques and there's timing and all that is, yes, important. But when it really comes from the heart because you feel good doing it and you have
yeah.
confidence of like, you know what, like I'm doing this move, but I know I look good. It's different than just making sure you do the
Mm,
move, you know? Um,
mm.
so again, God is good.
Soulful. Yes. Oh, I love that so much. Tell me more about your journey into dance. Did you start, it sounds like you've been dancing your whole life. What was your journey like as a kid?
My mom said I was born dancing, that the nurses couldn't
Mm.
hold me because I was just like wiggling so much. So nobody wanted to hold me as a baby because I just couldn't stop moving. So I think I was
Mm.
born dancing. It was a passion of
Yes.
mine since I was a child. My cousins used to hate, like, not hate, but they would come and play with me all the time. But before we played with whatever they wanted to play, I was very adamant that I had to make a choreographed routine to a dance, and we had to dance it. And my dad had to record
Amazing.
it, like, because we were gonna perform it later. Like, I was very adamant, or else I'm not playing. And so, they're just like, okay. I mean, they had fun, but I think back then I wanted to do it all, so I don't think I gave him a little chance. I don't
Yes.
remember that much, but
I love it. This is like pre-TikTok. Like you're just like, we are gonna do this. We're gonna get famous. Like it's gonna be recorded.
my dad's video camera, like huge. I had the outfits, we had Corey, like it was, I went all out,
Yes.
and it was just, I think I was just born with that passion, and my
Yeah.
grandma saw that because my parents didn't want me to do dance, and so my grandma
Mm,
saw it and she put me into ballet folklorico, which is where I found ballet folklorico, where my parents allowed it because at least it was traditional and
mm.
it showed, the Mexican culture, and so they're like, okay, we love it. But I did want to try and do like jazz and hip hop, and there's other things, and they're like,
Sure.
no, just stick to jazz. I
Mm.
mean, sorry, ballet folklorico, and I was like, okay. So in high school, we got the internet, we got the dial-up, we got it going. I was like, oh, I found music videos. I found Sierra, Michael Jackson,
Hmm.
I found all the dance music. I mean, back then I feel like there was more like dance, so I was just all up in it,
Totally.
and I would try to memorize the moves. And then I'll go into my bathroom and
Mm.
take like a 3-hour shower because I'm trying to practice them. And the water's running. They're just like, "Are you still in there?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, yeah, we're good. Which actually helped me because now I could really like see a move and then just kind of learn it. I don't have to be broken down,
Yes, you're just
Yeah,
visualizing
so it
it.
kind of helped me
Mm.
kind of pick up moves a little quicker. But finally, when I hit college, I was like, I'm free. So I took ballet, I took modern, I took hip hop, I took whatever was available to me. Ballet I tried, but I think I started a little too late. So I just like, it's okay, Erica, just don't do it.
Mm.
That way you can just push to the side. Um, but then I found salsa. And my sister actually introduced it to me when I was around 10 or 11. She would sneak me into clubs. But like, because I was that age, it wasn't the coolest kind of music to listen to. So
Sure.
I was still into the hip hop and the cool, so I was just like, I didn't get into it. And then when I was 22, I remember I was 22 because my first dance partner, Mr. Arden, I call him my cheese. He's still my bestie. I love him so much.
Mm.
He was working with me. We worked at the county, and they all know him as a dancer. And I had found a team to join the salsa team, and I was like, okay, I'll try it. So I was learning a little bit, maybe like a month in. And so, anyways, they hollered at him to come down, meet me, and it was around my birthday, which is why I know I was 22. He's like, come to the Granada. I'm teaching, but I would love for you to meet my team and just see the environment. I was like, okay. So I went in. I didn't know about the birthday dances. I didn't know about the craziness. I didn't know. I was just like, whoa, like super shocked. I know a little bit
Yeah.
when I was like again 10 or 11, but it was very sparsely, and um I was cute,
Yeah.
so it wasn't like everybody was trying to dance with the 10-year-old. So, but this time around, I was like, okay, I was 22, and it was a birthday thing, and I was like, whoa. Um,
Yes, and you have to set the scene because a lot of our listeners are not going to know the magic that is the Granada.
The
So,
Granada. Oh my God, if you ever come to LA, Alhambra area to be exact, Granada is a beautiful, it's multi floors. So the bottom, and usually have live salsa music. One of like the rare, again, salsa clubs that still host live music. There is other socials, but Granada is one of the originals. And I mean, you have the big, huge ballroom floors, and then you have the upstairs for an extra beautiful, spacious floor, and you have the windows are so big and beautiful. It's almost just like a majestic castle that you're kind of walking into.
Yes.
And it's packed. Like picture it packed with people dancing salsa, bachata, cumbia, merengue, whatever the DJ decides to throw on. Usually it's Latin though. And yeah, and the birthday dance, just in case nobody knows, you have your beautiful birthday person, and let's say for me, it's female, then you have all the leaders that could lead, go around in a big circle and switch out. And so you're just switching for some reason, the birthday song is like 6 minutes. It's long. It's
I always get so dizzy. I think I've fallen multiple times dancing the birthday dance.
yeah, it's insane. I mean, after I got used to it, like, I'm good. I'm like, all right, bring it on. We good. Now we got it. But the first times around, you're just like, whoa, this is a lot. But it's so
Yes.
fun. And so that's why I really like I got into it. And that same guy
Wow.
that told me, hey, come to the Granada, he was like, I have a dance team. Come to the team. And I was like, oh, well, I have this, salsa team. He's like, well, I'm a bachata salsa. He's like, I just want you to check it out. And I stuck with that team for it was 2012 to maybe 2025. I want to say, and I
Mm,
became the co-director pretty quickly, and then I became the director with him. And that dance saved my life. And I want to say I learned a lot from,
mm,
from my art and from my cheese, because he's a very kind-hearted man, and he was my first instructor that I saw taught with love and passion, and not so
mm,
aggressive on making sure you hit the technique. Because I was trained
mm.
that way mostly. It was mostly trained by like, oh my God, you're doing it wrong. You suck. Like, yo, get it right already. Like that kind of thing. Is just like
Mm.
so. I don't know how many times I wanted to quit dance. I wanted to quit dance so many
Wow.
times. Either it was because of the teacher, the partner I was dancing with, whoever was training me. It could have been just uh, really bad mistakes or falls or injuries where I'm just like, okay, obviously I'm not supposed to be doing this. Like, I don't think I'm supposed to be doing this in my
Mm.
life. But then it would always just find a way to come back to me. Or I
Mm.
was just, maybe I didn't want to give up, you know. And a lot of people told me to stop. My loved ones that I thought were with
Wow.
me were the ones giving me time limits,
Mm.
telling me to just quit, like you tried, to
Mm.
stop, figure out your life, drop that, get a career, you know what I mean, type of thing. And my passion with like how I can incorporate the mental state and the empowerment with the dance. Like I even had like backlashes on that. Like just don't combine it. Like just stop. Like doesn't work.
Mm.
Putting me down if I make a mistake, and like because I'm not perfect. Like even if I empower someone, like doesn't mean that I'm the most perfect person and I'm completely healed. And I think like a healing
Mm.
is one of those that have lots of layers. Lots and lots of layers.
Yeah.
And I think it's beautiful. And even though I love helping people, it doesn't mean that I'm stopping to help myself, right? And I I would
Mm-hmm.
get put down if somebody saw me on the other side. You know what I mean? Like, hey, like, exactly, this is why you need to stop. And I'm just like, no, it's not that I need to stop. I'm working with it too. Like I'm trying to help me and grow, and but that person doesn't mean I can't help that one person. Like even though I'm struggling, doesn't mean that my words can't help that other person that helped
Right.
them, and maybe and that just kind of trigger bombs. And I was very
Yeah.
proud of myself.
And sometimes that is how we connect with people, is in the midst of the struggle, we relate more deeply to
1000%.
people.
Exact. Yeah. And yeah, but things like that make you want to stop, especially if
Mm.
you
Yeah.
you're close to the person, you know. Um,
Mm.
and so that's why like a lot of people see me now and they're just like, oh my God, you're so good and this and it's easy for you and this and that. I was like, you see me now though. You have not
Mm.
seen the journey.
Mm.
You have not seen the struggle. You have not seen the reasons why I'm so passionate about making sure
Yeah.
you love you. You love you,
Mm.
you won't deal with so much baloney, you won't deal with people disrespecting you because you're respecting yourself. And I think that was the biggest thing.
Mm.
See, girl. The biggest thing is that when you learn to see yourself with that worth, you really only allow
Mm,
people around you that see it too. And I think
yeah.
that's so important because you only just got this one life. And if you're not your
Mm,
greatest cheerleader, and if you're not your greatest best friend, supporter, like you're gonna have people that,
mm,
you know, maybe having a bad day and want to put it on you. And if you don't have
mm,
that love for yourself to know, like, hey, you're hurting, can I help you? Instead of
mm,
taking it so
mm,
personal and like again, I'm doing it from experience, taking it so personal where it crushes you and makes you want to quit life
mm,
in general, you know. And
mm.
so I'm just like, uh, when I see, because I see everybody and I see angels, like I really do. I see goddesses, I see gods, I see angels, I see just spirit, and it
Mm.
hurts to see them hate themselves, hate what they're in,
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is your
Yeah.
vessel, and I know the
Mm,
beautifulness on the other side. There's just those
yeah.
two sides, and like it's just so much better on this side. But you can't do anything if the person doesn't allow their love for themselves first, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's been a crazy journey. And I'm so happy I fought through those
Mm,
demons. I'm so happy I stayed
mm,
strong in my passion, in my purpose, with the help of, God and my angels. They know I prayed. They know I sat
yeah.
down. I sat down with my shadows, and um,
Mm,
I'm just really happy about that. Just like thank you for that strength.
yeah. What a gift.
Hmm. Yeah, it's beautiful. But then I'm here,
You,
and
you,
I know why my career went the way it went, and I'm so happy, and I'm
mm,
loving all the blessings, and
mm,
I'm loving the community that I've built, and um, when they see goddesses, they know what they're gonna get.
mm,
They know if they see
mm,
my name, like, oh, they know what kind of class they're gonna receive, and that means a lot to me. That means the world to me.
mm. Yeah, that authenticity and integrity that you practice is so apparent.
Thank you.
Mm,
Yeah, no, that's
mm.
what my words, but they know me because like I love interviews, but my words, the way I speak, for some reason, like no trabajo en español ni tampoco en inglés. Like I just got my own. So,
You're saying it beautifully. I know. I wish we could have you like dance it out right now. Like, here's what I'm trying to
oh,
say.
that'd be way easier.
Integrity.
I'll be like,
Oh,
Yeah,
no, you express it so
yeah,
beautifully.
thank you.
You used the image earlier of mirror work, which for folks who haven't done dance, maybe it'd be helpful for you to explain that. And I am curious about that as a parallel to the way that you receive love and care from other people. Like you were describing that when you're doing the dance in the mirror and you're checking your routine and your lines, that you have to learn how to love yourself in that space. And so I'm so curious about that as like a way of practicing how you then can receive the same love and care from other people. You mentioned having the circle around you of people who reflect that back to you. That just feels like a powerful image, and I'm curious to hear more from you on that.
I love that. So I actually started mirror work in dance before I did mirror work in spirituality. Um,
Mm,
and they have two very different and powerful, I want to say, ways of thinking or way of studying. But
mm,
I'm so happy I started with the dance first because it helped me ease into the spirituality of it. Because one thing with
mm,
dance, it's so vulnerable when you get to show your emotions. Again, there's
yeah.
techniques of my hands, but if I'm trying to show like pain, like you have to be okay to show the pain,
Mm,
to step into your own pain again and be able to
mm,
express that. Um, and so I had a beautiful trainer. She was my top. I love her so, so, so much. And she has a beautiful company of Pumpidence and Britt Nicole. And so she was telling me when we had our private lessons, she was like, you need to sit in front of the mirror. And she's like, I need you to do your angry face. I need you to do your sexy face. I need you to do a sad face.
Mm.
I need you to do an excited face, a scared face. Like she's like, just play with your emotions and be okay with
Mm.
how
Mm.
you show that. She's like, because you're not comfortable or you're not okay with what you're giving and you're not letting
Ah.
yourself be free, right? And she was right. I hated everything
Mm.
I did. Like it was never good enough. It was just never good enough. And for me to be vulnerable, like people always think I'm an extrovert because I'm very like bubbly and I'm out and I'm talking and this, but I'm very introvert and I'm very closed. And for someone to actually get to know me and know my story and like let me just talk to you and express my feelings, I got my one girl since we've been best friends since 2003, 4. Oh my God, a long time. My high
Wow.
school friend. And but like, where I was going this, oh my goodness. Um, so when she told me that, I was like, okay, you're right. Let me do that. So I started off with my mad face. Like now I'm all used to it. So I'm like, there's my mad face. And it was all like
Yes.
not mad, it was just like confused. And then I was like, okay, my sad face. But like my sad face looked just like confused. Like everything just kind of looked confused in the beginning. And then, you start doing it over and over, put the right music on, put the right vibe. Then I got injured right away. And that's what put me into the meditation.
Mm.
So that walked me
Wow.
into now let me look in the mirror and not just try to do a face of emotion. Let me find where that emotion is and why I have it.
Mm.
And that's a whole
Yes.
extra level.
Yes.
And once I started trying to see and how difficult it was to just say, I love you, or I'm proud of you,
Mm.
or like, hey, I look cute today, or like, it was so hard. It was so hard.
Mm.
But I did get the ease of like making myself feel like a fool trying to find all these faces that I kind of put two and two together, and I was like, I'm not allowing it in my dance because I'm not even allowing it for myself. Like I won't even like
Mm.
I will be
Mm.
angry. My how I lived before anger was my comfort emotion.
Mm.
I grew up in a very angry environment. Um, it was, I felt good when I was angry. I got angry with myself a
Mm.
lot. Anger was just one of those emotions I was comfortable with. And if I wasn't angry, I will
Yeah.
find a memory in my head that will get me angry and I'm back to my comfort zone. It was just
Hmm.
something that was like this hamster
Wow.
wheel. And so I had to sit with those demons. And
Mm.
again, the whole mirror work, my shadow work, um, I started off with in the mornings, and I would tell some of my students, before you look in the mirror, before your day starts, you gotta say something nice to yourself so that when you look at yourself in the mirror, you at least have that start, and you can at least
Mm.
stop that habit of like looking first for the negativity, looking first for like the in life, looking first like for that pimple or that hair that's not right or whatever it might be. Like it's so easy to just go with like what's not working. Almost find
Yeah.
what's working. And so I would look in the mirror and I would find what was working with me that day. Even if it wasn't even, even if it was just my necklace. Like, I like your necklace.
Mm.
Like, hey, I like my style. I started going off with that. Oh, that all right. Your smile's not that bad. I
Yeah.
like it. And then I started to
Mm.
like, I love you. Then I started to like, all right, girl, let's go. And then I started pumping myself out. And like now I talk to myself the way I talk to
Yes.
all the other students. And again, I have like
Oh,
my
that's
ups and
beautiful.
downs. Of course, you have times where you fall into old habits of comparison or you go into like,
Mm.
I'm feeling, a little just, but now I don't fight it so much and I don't look at it as a negative. I look at it as an opportunity to learn and grow. And I just kind of like go
Mm.
through it. It's like, all right, you're not feeling your best right now. Like, it's fine. And like to also learn how to
Mm.
comfort yourself through the negative emotions. And, where
Yeah.
a lot of people, that's the reason why they go into, alcoholism or drugs or doing some crazy stuff outside or reacting again with anger. It's just because you don't calm
Mm.
yourself. You don't comfort yourself. And so also with the
Mm.
mirror work, when I was feeling angry, I would go to the mirror and I'll be like, all right, girl, why? You know, um,
Mm.
Journaling, I'm getting better at it. Journaling does help, but I'm not
Yeah.
like the way I speak, my writing's worse. So like, I found it easier just to speak to me,
Yeah.
and to see myself in the eyes. And like at the end, even if I didn't
Mm.
feel better, to remind myself that I will. I was like, you're going through it,
Mm.
you'll feel better. Know that life got you. That
Mm.
was like my biggest thing. Know that life got you. If it's in the
Mm.
runt, it's if for some reason you need this. I don't know why.
Mm.
Um, I'm not gonna argue about it anymore. Everything's gonna be fine, and I'm learning to like
Mm.
soothe myself. But I did have to
Yeah.
take a huge look in the mirror. And again, it is weird to look at yourself and talk to yourself. You almost feel like a crazy person, but you're talking in your head all the
Mm.
time, anyways. You really are. No matter what, you're
Yes.
in your
We're
head
telling ourselves stories.
all the
Yeah.
time, whether you like it or not. You're in your head. So when you could see yourself
Yeah.
and you talk, you could check yourself a little bit more.
Mm.
You can make sure
Mm-hmm.
what you're actually saying, because sometimes the thoughts are going and you don't even know how far you've gone, and you're in this
Totally. How
rabbit
deeply
hole,
in.
and like now your whole
Yeah.
day's ruined. You know what I mean? And these are like stories
Mm.
that maybe have happened in the past, and then you're mixing it with the now, and then
Mm.
it's like, and then this one other little thing is not going right, so you're putting that in the system, so like when you get to just
Yeah.
stop and like be like, girl, all right, let's breathe. And you can actually coach
Yes.
yourself to just like coach yourself, not um
Mm.
not have to rely on other extremities or making sure that something good has to happen. Now I could be not happy. Like, no, don't wait for that. No, life goes like this,
Mm.
and tomorrow's not promised.
Yeah.
That's we all know that, and 5 minutes is not promised. So every moment I feel like
Mm.
truly counts to support you, to be with
Mm.
you. I feel like
Mm.
um, you don't get, a second life. You really don't. So that's where my
Mm.
mirror works for me. It helps me a lot. So I still do
That's
it. So what's up,
beautiful.
girl? Every
It's a
time.
well, it's a
It's a
practice,
practice.
right? Like, I
It's a
mean, the
practice.
spiritual work, just as much as anything else, is a practice. As you, I love that it started with doing it for the purpose of dance, and then discovering, oh, this is a spiritual practice.
Yes.
I've been engaged in a spiritual
Yes.
practice.
Yes.
Mm.
And you just go deeper with it. I mean, again, dance has so many levels.
Mm.
Spirituality has so many levels. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Being a human being has so many levels. This is why I think you start from baby and you grow. Like it's just already showing you
Mm.
that anything you take in life, your work, your job, I mean, even like your
Yeah.
podcast, you know how you started now from the beginning, like you've grown. And it's just anything you do,
Mm.
you're growing. And it's
Yeah.
beautiful, but also know that in the times
Mm.
of the growth period, like enjoy the journey. Like, just
Oh, I love that.
enjoy it. Know that the journey doesn't
Wow.
stop. So might as well.
Right.
It does not stop. The moment you hit like,
I
oh, I did good. There's a next level to it. Like, it's just like,
yeah. Yeah. I think that's one of the places that like the work of transformation, spiritual transformation on an individual level, social change on a collective level, really gets short circuited is when we lose sight of our own growth or the fact that other people are constantly growing.
yeah.
And I think about this a lot with my parents and just the constant ways in which I'm surprised as an adult at how they are still growing.
Yes,
And
yes.
you think like, oh, they're human too. But as a kid, you look at your parents and you like see them fixed in time, like, oh, this is just my parents. This is how they are.
Yeah.
They'll always be this way. And coming into adulthood and realizing, oh no, it's this ongoing, like this idea of growing up as though we arrive is so funny because if we ever stop growing, then like you said, we're dead. Um, but the judgment that we can place on other people, fixing them in time, right? Like pinning them in a moment of time, like, oh, this is who you are, this is how you'll always be, this person's just this way, like name whatever characteristic that we assign to them.
Yeah.
And I wonder about how dance supports you in that. You mentioned the ways in which you could find yourself comparing, and so I'm curious about that development in you. Like, how do you embrace people as they are, and how does dance help you to do that?
Um, so that's the beautiful thing. If you don't embrace, if you don't accept them as them, one, you're probably not accepting you as you. in the first place,
Mm.
which is why you could easily do that. I mean, there's stories, obviously. Sometimes you there's people where you're like, okay, you gotta put a boundary. But in terms of dance, like, and that's why I will tell my students too. I was like, because it's a two-way street, right? You can't
Mm.
get frustrated with the other if they're making a mistake, because it's you know you've made a mistake. Like it's not like you're perfect, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so being a follower and a leader, the best leaders could lead all levels. The best followers could follow all levels, right? And I feel a lot of people, once they start getting really good at dance and stuff, they even start putting like, okay, um, that person, I don't have to, this person I do, that person's good enough, that person's not good enough. And I feel like that helps others to compare themselves. Because if they see, hey, that person won't dance with me, but that person will dance with Alio, let me start comparing us because um, I'm not dancing like this. Or maybe because I don't look that way. Because I don't spin this way. Because I
Mm.
don't follow this way. Whatever it might be. And so again, even as easy as me, for me as an artist, I have to look a certain way as I thought coming into the business, right? I made sure I was fit, I ate right, but more for the looks, for the plasticness of it. And
Mm.
I never thought it was good enough because my body's my body, right? I will never have somebody else's body. And the same with students when they go into classes, they see a teacher and they're comparing themselves to the teacher, right? There's
Right.
comparisons happening all the time for different reasons. It's not just for one thing, it's for so many things. And so that's why, like, again, for me, like, even walking, I could compare myself to shoes. Like, oh my God, I need to get those shoes because that professional has those. Maybe that one's better than, you know what I mean? Like, even as simple as shoes. Now,
Hmm.
comparing and then using it to inspire you, there's a difference. Comparison and then using it
Mm.
to degrade yourself and to put you down, to diminish your soul, your spirit, your power. No, that's
Yeah.
a whole other different thing. And so, the accepting of me and learning to give myself praise, learning to again see myself and finding what I like, it truly helped me. Like, okay, recognize me as my unique self. I have my unique
Mm.
salsa basic. This is my basic. It doesn't look like yours because we're so trained to try and look like the teacher. And I'm very adamant
Hmm.
on teaching you technique, but making sure that you find your own style. This is your this is your basic. You're never going to be me. And I don't want you to be
Yeah.
me. I want you to be better than me, you know. Um, that's again my goal, that I make sure that people don't compare. And even when they see me and they'll do it all the time, oh, I just wish I could look like you and I could do that. I'm like, you will be able to do this. You will never be able to look like me though. Don't try to, because then there won't be a you. Like, and then oh, that's the
Yeah. It's so
sad.
interesting if we're all carbon
Yeah, I was like,
copies.
but then there's
Yeah.
no you, and that's sad. I want a you.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Oh, that's so lovely. I want a you in the world.
Yes, thank you so
Yeah.
much for
On the
existing.
dance
Like,
floor.
that's like the
Hmm.
main, like, my students, I'm so blessed with the best students. I swear I have the best students in the world.
Mm.
Their energy, their vibe, their light, their passion, their fire, their willingness to train and learn, is beautiful. It's beautiful to like watch them grow in and out of dance.
Mm.
Uh, I love what I do. So blessed. Thank you for granting.
I have to ask you about being a mother because I'm curious about how your teaching and your dance informs the way that you parent
Oh,
and you're raising your daughter.
such a huge influence. Um,
Mm.
I, and speaking of my daughter, I'm actually have to go pick her up, um, like soon right now. But I stopped dancing actually when I had her for 2 years. I decided to just be a
Mm.
stay-at-home mom and homeschool her almost for 3 years actually. I would have a job here and there. I would do a choreo here and there, but I wasn't like a dancer. I was a mom. I
Mm.
was very adamant being a mom. Um, and it almost like, because I was working on my self-love and I was working on myself and I was working on connecting to spirit and to God. But then when I got pregnant, I was like, "There's no more working, Erica. Get to like get your foot together. You gotta go. Like there's no time. Your daughter is not gonna grow up with this issue. She's gonna have so much confidence.
Mm,
She's gonna love herself. She's gonna be proud of herself. She's not gonna doubt herself. I was like, this is not, you're not
mm,
having this in your daughter. And it starts with you. And I knew that it started with me. So I took it
mm,
so adamant that again, that when if I walk into a room and I'm about to teach a dance class, everybody's going to be proud of themselves. Like they have to know that they're amazing. Um, and my daughter sees that. And so even now, people are like, they love her and they'll say something like, oh, I can't do that. And she's like, no, don't say that. You could do it.
oh,
You
wow.
know,
Good
like
for
she's
her.
just
She's already a coach.
coaching people. I was like, I love it. I love it so much. But I think my love for her really helped me like grow my love for every like a mother love. Like a mother love is
Mm,
you know, that is huge, that power. And so I learned to embrace that love and I'm like, okay, like I know how to love my students a little bit better, like a mother, you know? And I don't think I would be able to understand that so much if I didn't have my daughter. If I didn't understand that power,
mm,
that hurt love, like it almost hurts, you know, and how much you love them.
yeah.
And then I get to embrace that and grow with it because it's very hard for not hard for me to give love, but to accept love. And so also accepting
Mm,
Phoenix's love for me and seeing how much that she can love me and how much a little person could love you so much. I'm like, wow, so that's why I learned how
mm,
to receive it. Receiving it was so hard. Even to
yes.
this day, like I had a birthday celebration, everybody was saying happy birthday and huge, and like I had to look at the floor. You know, so still like you're still working. I'm just like, okay, why is it hard for me to receive
Mm,
so much acknowledgement or praise, or, you know? And so but then
yeah.
again, you sit with yourself, and then again, it's just a journey. It's fun. It's beautiful. And again, dancing. And it was in dance thing,
Mm,
so dance just keeps showing me what I need to focus on.
absolutely. That's beautiful. Wow. I wonder if there is a word of encouragement that you'd like to leave with our listeners.
I want to say, oh my God, there's so many things. Um, I guess the best one, if you take out anything, is just try to ease your breath constantly.
Mm,
And I say breath because
mm,
sometimes when I say ease your emotions, that's not the easiest thing to do all the time. Ease your thoughts, not the easiest thing to do all the time. But if you could just ease your breath, if you could control your breath, if you could sit with yourself and just breathe sometimes, and just remind yourself when you start calming your nervous system and you start feeling that peace because of your breath, because your breath is so powerful. We don't use it to our full capacity. You know, our breath, I feel like, really
mm,
connects us, to a higher self, to peace, to love, to tranquility, how we're supposed to be as humans, I think, or again, human being, not human doing all the time, you know.
yeah.
So again, even just if you're like in this anxiety, like breathe, just breathe. If you're feeling like you can't accomplishment or you're like in this dance and you're just like, I'm not reaching my goals, I can't make it, I'm not, you know, breathe,
Mm,
remind myself like that's where I feel like it'll help you connect to your subconscious too, help you stop those habits of constant reactions and going. Just breathe. Just breathe. Life got you. You
mm,
got it. I have no doubt that you could accomplish anything you want to accomplish, you know, but that's it doesn't matter what I think. It's really what you think. Just breathe. Sit with yourself.
mm,
Allow your breath to heal you and be with you. I feel like when you intentionally take those breaths, you're just in the moment with you. And it's like a hug,
mm,
you know, it's almost like a little hug for yourself. So, but you
mm.
got this. Don't doubt yourself. You got it.
What a gift. What a gift. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you. Thank
Erica,
you for
for
having
sharing of
me.
yourself today. So good to have you on the
Thank
show.
you. Thank you so much.
Mm,
Um, it's so good to see you. Thank you. I'm sorry that I had to go get
it's good to
my
see you
daughter this
too.
time. I know.